My honor to call together today the South Carolina Public Charter School Board meeting for November 20th, 2025, and we are now called to order. That includes you, Chris. This morning, our invocation will be offered by our board member, very articulate and gifted gentleman, Stephen Gilkins.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come before you today with hearts full of gratitude for the South Carolina Public Charter School District. In this season of giving thanks, we want to thank you for the vital work being done by our dedicated administrators, our staff, teachers, and board members who poured their energies into this mission. We ask for your blessings upon our efforts, and thank you for the many blessings that you continue to provide to all of us. Guide our hands and our hearts and our decisions, that we may always act in the best interest of every child we serve, helping them to grow, to learn, and fulfill their God-given potential. What is in Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, if we could rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now for our position and mission statement, we will call on our board secretary, Jonathan Butcher, who will also, at the conclusion of that, offer the roll call.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The position statement of the South Carolina Public Charter School District embraces its state-appointed role as the distinct authorizer of public charter schools statewide. Our mission statement, the South Carolina Public Charter School District authorizes, supports, and champions innovative K-12 public charter schools, ensuring quality educational opportunities for parents and academic excellence for students, so every South Carolina child can reach their highest potential.
We will now move into the consent agenda.
Madam Chair, I should call the roll.
Oh, yes, you should call it. Excuse me.
Jonathan Butcher is present. Dexter Davis.
Present.
Stephen Gilchrist.
I'm present.
Kip Miller.
Present.
Cindy Mostetler.
Present.
Greg Plank.
Present.
Dr. Teresa Pope. Dr. Billy Strickland.
Present.
Thank you, thank you. Two items on the consent agenda, as always. First, we need approval of the agenda for today's November 20th, 25 board meeting. We have a motion and a second in regards to this.
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Any questions? All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Next, B, is approval of the minutes for the October 9th, 2025 meeting. We need a motion and a second to approve those minutes from that date.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none, the motion carries. Thank you. Are there any public comments to be brought today?
Madam Chair, there aren't any.
Thank you very much. Now, at this time, I think that we will begin to make our way. And we're going to follow the leader here in a minute. Okay. We will be moving down for the information. The first one's down, sorry. Yes, okay. So who will lead us next? Brad Henry. Brad Henry. Brad. Oh, here it comes. Yeah. We're going to try.
As y'all know, we love having kids in our building. And this morning, we're very happy to have with us the Strings Ensemble from East Point Academy. We'd like to give a special thank you to their director, Eunice Coe, and the school leader, Mike Lally. Performing for us today on violin, we have Mark Natvig, Alan Wang, on viola, William Leonardi, Walker Ledford, Anna Hall, and Oliver McWilliams. And on the double bass, we have Abby Preholis McCracken and Taylor King. Please enjoy the Strings Ensemble from East Point Academy. Thank you, Ms. Coe and students. That was wonderful.
all together. Yeah. Well, it's just beautiful, and it's just such a chorus of violins and strings. It's just beautiful. It's very classical, and, you know, it catches the heart and the mind.
They worked really hard on this.
Yes, I can, yeah, I'm very impressed. Please give your parents our very best, okay? Because they really did a good job bringing y'all into the world. And to here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this was a church, and so it has a wonderful way of allowing music to be fully expressed in here. So, yes, yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Y'all take care. I'll see you soon.
Okay. Thank you. God bless. Fresh is wonderful. Wonderful. Yeah, you can hold it.
Madam Chair, Board of Trustees, Superintendent Neely, I have the honor of recognizing two of our schools today for a very special accomplishment. Dr. Reyes, Mr. Hosang, would you guys come up, and anyone you brought from your school, you can stand next to Superintendent Neely. So I'm here to support two of our schools and their recognition regarding America's Healthiest Schools. So for over 15 years, the Alliance for Healthier Generation has worked with schools, youth serving organizations, businesses, communities, and families to promote health, equity environments that support the whole child. Their work has impacted over 31 million children across the country by increasing access to nutritious foods, high-quality physical activity, social-emotional support, and a tobacco-free environment. Schools can apply by submitting evidence of effective research-based practices that support the whole child's health. There are 9 topic categories related to student and staff health. A school which meets all 9 categories then will receive an all-star awardee distinction. In 2025, 1,120 schools across 34 states in the Washington, D.C. area earned recognition, including 168 all-star schools. So it's 168 all-star schools across the country. South Carolina had 4 of them, and 2 of those schools are PCSD schools. Butler Academy and Legacy Early College Elementary School were among those honors of the 4 in the state of South Carolina. Today, here in recognition of their accomplishments is Dr. Reyes, Mrs. Reyes, Mr. Hosang, and Dr. Herring. Thank you so much for all of your accomplishments for children.
I just want to make a few comments. You know, both of these schools really do put kids first in all areas of their life, and you really see the whole child. And children can't learn if they don't have access to good, healthy practice, to healthy foods, to fuel their minds, their bodies, and their souls. So I just want to thank you all for being so committed and for being such great representatives for our state and for the public charter school district.
And you know, really, the foundation of any of us being here today is food, really. They cannot think, they cannot move, they cannot contemplate, interact, and social skills. All the skills that we have come because of what is put into us in this daily way, for thy daily bread. And so I'd just like you to say a few words about how you came to embrace this and the steps taken to accomplish this. If anyone would like to relay that, so we can copy you.
Well, good morning, good morning. I will say that it takes a village of supporters to be able to come to this point, because when we started, we probably only had 2 categories. Next year we had 4. then the following year we had 6 categories. So what was taking place in between that time was building support systems. Started off with one person, maybe ended with 2 or 3, but every single year we reflected and we refined and we made the adjustments. So that's how Legacy Early College was able to get to this point, the village and the community support.
Similarly, at Butler Academy, it was really the same. We started with 2 categories, then 5, then 9. And what's really neat about our charter and our mission is that it's based on social and emotional learning as the bedrock of, or the pathway to learning. And so it really resonated with who we already were, but it helped us to think critically and look critically at all of the 9 categories, because it's definitely whole child, as you were saying, Mr. Neely, that it's not just about nutrition, it's not just about exercise, it's about all of those things, plus social and emotional learning, and it's not just about our scholars, but it's also about our staff. If your staff is not okay, we can't, if we're empty, we can't pour into our kids. And so we're so excited to be recognized and to bring this recognition to South Carolina. We don't often get good press, and so we're happy to be a part of some good press for South Carolina. And we're really excited and proud of our kids.
Thank you.
Okay. We want to be invited to eat. Anytime when it's convenient. Okay.
So next, we are going to recognize one of our own. Dee, you want to come up?
Are you sure about this?
So we are here to recognize the career of Dietrich Drayton, or who we refer to as Dee. Dee has been our Medicaid and Health Administrator for the district since February of 2022. She's officially retiring on November 30th, but she will continue to collaborate with us, and she will return as a part-time contractor in January of 2026. We are honored to celebrate with her today. Some career highlights about Dee. She's a mental health professional of over 20 years of experience in clinical, administrative, and policy-driven roles in South Carolina's behavioral and rehabilitative health system. National Board Certified Counselor and Licensed Professional Counselor Associate. Strong background in program coordination, Medicaid compliance, and quality assurance. Previous work prior to her life here has been with DHHS and the State Department of Education, which embedded her expertise in rehabilitative behavioral health services and Medicaid. She holds a master's degree in clinical mental health and a bachelor's degree of science or psychology, and she has strong skills in team building, conflict resolution, and leadership. Some personal highlights we know about Dee. She is a devoted daughter, sister, mother, wife, grandmother, and friend to many, just to name a few things. She's someone whose warmth and compassion naturally draws people in. Dee is calm and steady. Her demeanor brings balance to any discussions. We have learned through the years about her amazing sense of humor and her infectious laugh. Her approachable spirit creates spaces for meaningful collaboration through reflection and genuine connection with everyone she touches. Her daily presence in the office will be greatly missed, but we are thrilled that she will be able to continue and share her expertise with us on a short-term basis, part-time. Congratulations, Dee, on an outstanding career, and best wishes to you as you embark on this next chapter of your personal and professional journey. You will always be a member of the PCSD family. Thank you. Those are for you, Dee. Dee's husband is Ron is with us also today.
Dee, congratulations. It's been an honor. It's been an honor to work with you. I brought a little problem to the district in 2017, a little thing called Medicaid. So when I was at the Meyer Center and we transferred, we brought that little problem to the district, and it continued to kind of fester. And we needed someone who had the experience, the expertise, and the patience, and the innovative mindset to kind of think outside the box to see how we could grow that program and ensure that we were compliant with all the rules and regulations that come with Medicaid. And Dee came in here and did just that. She ensured that we were compliant. She did it by the book. She did it with great ethics and professionalism. And I might also add a lot of class. You bring class to the workplace. You should be proud of your service to the state of South Carolina and to the public charter school district. And I want to personally thank you for putting all kids first through the work that you did at this district. Thank you.
And just the thought of the singular vision you've had that has been very concrete. You're able to see the results, the fruit of what you have done. And really, it's so wonderful that our government has this kind of merciful endowing down when people can work ethically and secure as much as is permitted, in those rules, and understanding those rules so that progress can be accomplished. And so there are children here, like from what Chris is saying, there are children here that are eating better meals because of you. Their life, you have improved the life of so many children, the quality of life. And the hearts of mothers love what you have done for their precious little ones, like an angel. Yes, I mean that. That's it. It's just doing good every day. Thank you so much. Thank you.
I want to say thank you for, I'm not going to get emotional. But I thank the family here, and I thank Chris, and I thank the staff here for allowing me to come in and be a part of a family. One other thing I want to say is that you've always put kids first, but one of the things I'd like to say most of all, you put family first. And I want to thank the staff for listening to me when I've had emotional issues and difficulty, because you allowed me to be able to come in and be a part of a family and be a part of a situation that just brought people in and made me feel at home, made me feel comfortable, and being a listening ear. And that you cannot change. That is a culture that you can't find anywhere else. It's a culture that you've just brought here with us. And you made us all feel at home. And you made us feel comfortable. And you made us feel like we belong. And you listened to us. And you let our staff be able to listen to one another. And I want to say to just the staff, thank you for listening to me. Thank you for being a part of my family, because my family is not here. But you made me feel comfortable. And that you just can't put words in. So I appreciate you. And I thank you. And I thank my ride or die over there, who has been through so much with me. I just thank you so much. And on the lighter side, I want to thank my K-pop next door neighbor for listening, and the SNI team for just being there, the two ladies who have let me be their mothers, and the people that have just listened to me when I rant and rave sometimes. Just to say thank you, because it's different to have a culture that where you can come in and you can just laugh and talk and be a part of a family and just listen when we're down, when we're out, and then when we just want to laugh. And you don't always find that. So to the charter school family, I'm not gone. I'll be around. But I just want to say thank you for allowing me to be here and be a part of this culture. And thank you.
Congratulations.
All right, it is my pleasure to call up Jason Eichelberger with the Youth Learning Institute, and anybody you've got with you from YLI. Jason, on behalf of our entire team, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you to Camp Long and Clemson's Youth Learning Institute for being such an incredible partner. Your generosity in opening your beautiful space for our staff retreat meant so much to us. The team building exercises you led were engaging, energizing, and exactly what our staff needed. Our staff loved spending time with their teammates, kayaking, canoeing, you'll see a few pictures later, and simply just letting loose together in such a peaceful environment. So just thank you for creating that retreat experience and strengthening our connections and lifting our spirits. We are truly grateful.
Nope.
Nope. Let her run away.
Jason, I just want to say, to Camp Long and to Clemson University, the fact that we have such an amazing camp so close to Columbia, that also is the home of Tall Pines, who we're going to hear from here shortly, is so important to this staff, because sometimes you really do need to get the family, as Dee said, out of the house and out on a picnic. And our picnic was professional development, but it was outdoors, and it was important for all of us to just breathe that fresh air, to see the beautiful lake among the tall pines, no pun intended, to really just take in God's nature and let that really, energize us in the work that we do. We don't get to get outside much. And the fact that you all provided the counselors and the support meant so much. And we all came back just energized and ready to do it again. So I just wanted to thank you and give you a chance to make any comments.
Well, we're glad to have you, and we'd love to have you back anytime you want. We're blessed to have a beautiful facility that we maintain. And so we were kind of jealous we didn't get to eat the barbecue on the lake with you guys, but, it's okay. So,
Next time.
But thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely.
He knows where all the good places are.
Oh, he does.
So, yeah, he's the
absolutely.
he's the source on this. And I think that your work shows that education and furtherance for children can happen in any kind of setting. That's what that shows, I think, out there. And it's interesting. It's wonderful that Clemson's reached out and been a part of all of this. I think, of course, I think a lot of Clemson. I think a lot of Dexter, and my nephew was one of Dabo Sweeney's big converts until a USC guy blew his leg, and that's what happened. He was headed on to play on Sunday, but anyway, sometimes those things happen. But we live in a beautiful state and a very giving state, and we just appreciate all that you have done and your institution for this. Yeah, thank you.
Great.
All right, Mr. Stan Davis, come on up. Before I get into my comments, I would also like to recognize the powerhouse that is Miss Tan Davis behind Mr. Stan Davis. She's here. She's part of our family too. Today, I have the privilege of recognizing someone whose leadership, insight, and steady hand have truly shaped the direction of our district, Mr. Stan Davis. For the past 5 years, Stan has served as our strategic plan advisor, and in that time, his impact has been nothing short but transformational. When Stan joined us, our district was emerging from some of its darkest days, time of uncertainty, change, and challenge. Through his thoughtful guidance, strategic thinking, and relentless focus on improvement through Kaizen, he helped us rebuild trust, reimagine our systems, and refocus on what matters most, our students and families. Because of his work, we're now an organization firing on all cylinders: responsiveness, cohesiveness, and adaptable to the evolving needs of our community and our stakeholders. Stan didn't just help us develop a plan, he helped us build a culture of collaboration, reflection, and continuous growth. Beyond his strategic leadership, Stan has been a mentor and coach to our senior staff. His calm wisdom, generous coaching, and ability to see both the big picture and the human side of every discussion has left a lasting mark on each of us, myself included. Stan, thank you for your confidence in me, and I appreciate our meetings more than you know. Stan, thank you for guiding us with integrity, for challenging us to think boldly, and for reminding us what is possible when we work together and toward a shared vision. Your legacy is not only in the plan you helped us design, but in the thriving district we've become because of it. Please join me in thanking Stan for his 5 years of extraordinary service and leadership.
Stan, those awards are not just for full-time employees, but I've always said that that you truly are just another member of the family, just like everyone else in this room. And you know, our journey together started many years ago up in Greenville, and I'm so glad that you trusted us to be a part of this new venture and all the progress that we've seen over the years. And you've really been the caretaker of the culture of the public charter school district. I'll go back again to what Dee said about family. The family and the culture has to have somebody that can be the caretaker of that, and to understand all the voices, to hear the hearts and the minds, and to bring that all together into a mission and vision that the whole family can really, you know, believe in and rally behind. And that's all been because of you. And so, you know, we just are very thankful for you and your life and your coach. Because I know you don't do this alone. This work doesn't happen by ourselves. And then all that you mean to this staff and this board and to our schools, because our schools, they don't see you. You're kind of behind the scenes, but you're the one that has really crafted all that mission and vision and brought all those voices together to put all kids first.
So I have something that to give, but I don't have it today. But you're not going to get it. But I have ordered like 18 books of the short version of Kaizen for all of us. I feel like we need to have capes. You see what I mean? Like that we have qualified, like we know Kaizen. And the beauty of it all is just you build it a little at a time. Yeah, and that is what allows the human spirit to keep going, because it's not an overwhelming rush of a giant wave. It's pedaling through. It's you know what I mean? And so that's what you've taught me, to deconstruct life's issues to smaller components and see what you might be able to conquer and then move next. And that's all from you. That is all from you. I have learned that and applied it in my life. And yeah, I really appreciate it. I appreciate you. Thank you. It's all true. Stan, yeah.
I'm overwhelmed, but thank you for the opportunity to be a part of this. I've done a lot of work in my life, but this is one organization that I brag about continuously. The demonstration of excellence and commitment to kids, the culture that you've built here, it's just an honor to be a part of that. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity and to keep doing what you're doing. You all inspire me, so I'm glad to hear that the things that we work on together are making a difference. So Kaizen, keep going and keep doing well. And thank you again for honoring me here today and recognizing the work It's been a pleasure and a privilege, and I'm looking forward to things ahead to see what we can get done moving forward. So thank you. And I want to thank Tan for coming here with me. For those of you who hadn't met her, she's my better half. She's my voice of rationale when I lose it sometimes, and it's good to have a partner that can listen and then reflect back and do Kaizen with you. So that's something that's very important to me. Being a part of your family is just, I can't tell you how beautiful that is. So thank you again for having me as part of your house, if you will.
All right, the man hiding in the wings, Mr. Eric Norton, come on. He had important district business back there. All right, today is full of our heavy hitters. Today we recognize someone whose quiet strength and steady guidance have been instrumental in our success, Mr. Eric Norton. For more than 10 years, Eric has served as general counsel for our district, and his impact reaches far beyond legal matters. It touches every student, every classroom, and every staff member who serves our district. Eric's work has been centered on one unwavering principle, putting kids first. In every policy discussion, every contract, every decision, his counsel has ensured that our actions stay true to our mission. Through times of growth and times of challenge, Eric has provided stability and clarity that allow our district to move forward with confidence. He has safeguarded our integrity, helped us navigate complex issues, and ensured that our focus remains on authorizing quality schools who put kids first. For our senior staff, Eric has been a trusted advisor, someone who listens carefully, offers thoughtful perspective, and reminds us that doing the right thing is always the best thing. His professionalism, calm demeanor, and deep commitment to public education have set the tone for how we lead and serve. And because he seems to be able to find a quote to work in every situation, I think it's only fitting to honor this milestone with a little Seinfeld wisdom. As George Costanza famously said, "It's not a lie if you believe it." Don't worry, after a decade of working with Eric, I can confidently say that no such legal philosophy has ever come from him. If anything, he spent 10 years making sure we don't accidentally follow George's advice. Eric, we could not do our jobs without you. Your guidance has built the foundation for a stable, ethical, and student-centered district. On behalf of the entire district, thank you for more than a decade of exceptional service and for helping keep our compass pointed towards what truly matters, our students. The way that you work for us is mind-blowing. I often have to remind myself that you do, in fact, have other clients. Your world does not revolve around us, so thank you. Please join me in expressing our gratitude for Eric and his outstanding commitment to the district.
All right. Well, this is not going to be a roast. I'll make this quick. I'll save the roast for later. I will say, though, that picture is at least 10 years old. And we just had new photos today, by the way. He said, no, I like the old one. So anyway, Eric, you know, I can't thank you enough for your counsel. The way that you serve as really an advisor in so many other ways, on policy, procedures, politics, government relations. I mean, you're more than just a general counsel for a school district. You're a friend. And, you know, like the culture that Stan helped shape here, you have been through a decade of challenges, turmoil, great heights and great lows. But all the while, you have stood firm. And you've been that steady voice that we all needed through that entire time period. This morning I read a story in the Wall Street Journal about a lawyer who gave up the practice because he felt he had a different calling and he wanted to go in the classroom and be a teacher. Well, Eric actually started in the classroom as an English teacher, and then he became a lawyer. But all the while, he's always put kids first. So Eric, thank you for what you do for this staff, our board, all of our schools, but more importantly, kids. Thank you.
You are our resident lawyer, sometimes our resident father, telling us what we can't do, and laying out the path of what's possible. And you have held, as an attorney, the highest requirements for ethics for all of us. One thing we all have learned to love about each other is the standards that we hold say a lot about the character of each one of us. And you couple that with your mind, you are like the guy on the PT boat that's on the front looking for mines. You see what I mean? And then figuring out how we can avoid those. I think that's really like what you're like. See, I'd be in the back, you know, I don't know what I'd be doing. I'd probably be thrown over because I would not have utility. But anyway, you have navigated us, and when there are times when we had justified irritation, anger at certain situations, you would always say, our best way forward is calm. Our best way forward is calm. Calm and true. And I'm telling you, the pillars of strength and integrity that you all have laid down here is just, we all testify to it. And we all are better for being here. We are better because we've all agreed on great things for the future of children. And Eric can call and tell me, you know, I'll think, what about this, what about this? And he can quickly, it's not like, I'll get back to you on that. It's like, oh yeah, he can just figure it out right there. So you're such a gifted person and an enjoyable person. We all cherish our relationship with you. And we thank God of the talent he has instilled in you and that it's commensurate with your ethics. So I can't say enough about you, as you know. Yeah, but you can't sing, I hope. You don't sing. Good. We want to find something you can't do.
I just want to say very quickly, first of all, the picture is only 4 years old.
Sure.
Which coincides approximately with the tenure of Chris here. So if I look like I've aged 10 years, it is because of what's happened over the last 4 or 5 years. So I won't deny the aging, but it made the cause and effect. I'll just say very quickly that I enjoy and am thankful for all of you. I appreciate very much the welcome that I receive every time I walk in this building. It is a special relationship that a lawyer can have with a client like this. It is my favorite thing to do in my professional life, and it's the thing that I'm most proud of. So thank you all.
All right, one more. Today, it is my privilege to announce this month's Core Value Award winner, someone whose colleagues describe her as a true light in our office, a ray of sunshine, and a model of what Kids First looks like in action. This recognition goes to someone who shows up every single day with integrity, compassion, and an unwavering commitment to excellence. Our Core Value Award recipient is Andrea Green. Andrea, go ahead. I have a few more comments, but we're going to make you stand in the hot seat while I read them. Andrea embodies collaboration at its finest. Her teammates consistently speak about how she embraces our professional norms, asks thoughtful questions, and seeks clarity to ensure that her work meets the highest standard. She supports others with humility and intention, and she brings a calm professionalism into every situation, even during moments when others might have faltered. Her colleagues highlighted her remarkable willingness to step outside her comfort zone, take on new challenges, and provide exceptional support to schools, leadership teams, and departments across the district. Andrea never hesitates to lend a hand, uplift a teammate, or offer words of encouragement. One colleague even shared that they thrive off her energy, a testament to the positivity and joy she brings to our workplace. Perhaps most importantly, Andrea truly lives our Kids First mission. In every decision she makes, she centers students. She reminds the adults around her, graciously and consistently, why our work matters. Her compassion is not just something she feels, it's something she practices. In short, Andrea is someone trusted by her peers, admired by those she supports, and appreciated for her authentic care for people. Her colleagues describe her as genuine, dependable, and an exceptional partner in this work. Andrea, thank you for your dedication, your heart, your collaborative spirit, and the positivity you bring to the PCSD family. You are so deserving of this recognition.
I'm crying.
Andrea, congratulations. I'm not surprised. Your colleagues love you. You know, it really does come down to, I think, attitude. I think that really is the secret sauce to success in all facets of life. And Andrea is usually one of the first people I run into outside my office when I'm going around the corner from the coffee bar. And I mean, every single morning, it doesn't matter what's going on in her life, challenges, the good, the bad, she always has a great attitude every single day. And it lifts me because sometimes I don't come in chipper, and she just lifts me like that. And I know she does that for our teammates. And attitude really is what's important in the work that we do. And I just appreciate your intentionality behind putting all kids first through your work. The way that you're so ethical and professional in the demonstration of your work, and the way that you socialize and interact with your colleagues, and the way you show your love to everybody in this building. So congratulations. I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Well, one thing I think is wonderful about you is you have, from here up, the ability to get as much for us from the federal government as you can. And you have the personality that you would never think that a personality this full would be able to do that. You see what I'm saying? And I bet you've got, this is what I think. I think you've got them right here. No. Yes, because the person you are, I wish I could meet your mom. Yeah, so anyway, we appreciate this, and you know, it takes a certain skill set to interface with the federal government. And I appreciate the advocacy you do and the thoroughness that you give to these children. It's just a beautiful thing. And I can tell everybody loves you. Yeah. So anything you want to say?
I just want to say thank you all very much. Today didn't start off well for me at all. I was telling Emily Baker, like, today was just, it started off as a whirlwind. But thank y'all from the bottom of my heart. I love y'all just as much as y'all love me. And I very much love being a part of the public charter school district. I started at one of our schools at Felton, and I've literally worked my way up to here, and I am proud to be not only an employee, but also a parent of a public charter school district child. So I walk in ethics because I want my kids to have just as good as any other kids, and I want everybody just to be good. Like, that's always my, I just want everything to be right. And so I really appreciate this. I love telling people when I go to professional developments who I'm a part of, and I love making the distinction and letting them know that we are different, but we all want the same thing. And so just thank y'all. I love y'all.
Thank you. This concludes our informational items.
We do not need an executive session today. We will now move on to the area of our action items. The first is the board streaming policy, second reading.
Madam Chair, trustees, as you said, today is our second reading of our revised board policy related to streaming board meetings and board events. This was some legislation, as you know, that was captured at the end of last legislative session. The good news is, as you well know, we are already doing this and complying it, so this is just conforming this particular policy to meet the updated. The requirement is for all board meetings, including committee, subcommittee meetings, workshops, and public hearings, of course with the exception of executive sessions, shall be live streamed, placed on the school or the district's website. They encourage closed captioning just to increase the transparency of the work that our schools are doing across South Carolina. This recommendation, as you know, last month we did first reading. This is our second reading, Madam Chair and trustees, and so we would ask that you vote to approve the updated streaming policy after this second reading.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Deputy Superintendent. We need a motion and a second to approve the board meeting streaming policy. This is the second reading as recommended by staff.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second?
Second.
Any questions, thoughts? All in favor indicate by saying now. We will now put the motion to a vote. All in favor indicate by saying yea.
Yay.
Yes.
Any opposed? No. Thank you. Thank you. You'll be back up, I'm sure. Yeah. Okay. Next, we have Kristen Farmer, Chief of Authorization and Development for Tall Pine STEM Academy Charter Renewal.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Today, we have the opportunity to recognize and celebrate 10 years of success at Tall Pines STEM Academy. Please refer to action item B. As a reminder, I will first share the renewal summary and recommendation and request a board motion. This will be followed by a short video presentation by the school. After the video, the PCSD Board of Trustees will have the opportunity to ask questions of the Tall Pines STEM Academy representatives here today. Finally, the PCSD Board will entertain a discussion and vote. Please refer to the Tall Pines STEM Academy Renewal Report as I share an overview of the full report. Tall Pines, initially approved by the PCSD in 2015, began serving 5th and 6th grade students in 2016. Located on Clemson University's Camp Lawn campus in Aiken, the school currently serves 398 students in grades 5 through 8. The school's mission is to provide an option for families where STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, is intertwined in the school's culture and prepares middle school students to become the next generation of ethical leaders. Tall Pines is truly a special place, offering students a unique blend of classroom instruction and outdoor learning experiences. This innovative approach keeps students engaged, promotes wellness and physical fitness, inspires creativity, fosters critical thinking and problem solving, and cultivates leadership skills. As part of the renewal process, PCSD staff visited Tall Pines, received a warm welcome, and had the opportunity to experience the school's positive and supportive culture firsthand. An operational overview indicates that the school has consistently met the state-mandated 75% certified staffing requirement for the past 7 years. The Board of Directors, with 9 active members, ensures compliance with state regulations, supports strategic planning, and provides effective governance. Tall Pines' partnership with Clemson University's Youth Learning Institute, or YLI, remains a significant strength, providing operational and management support, food service, facility maintenance, marketing and public relations, and financial record keeping. A review of academic performance indicates that Tall Pines continues to demonstrate strong academic achievement, earning a rating of good on the 24-25 school report card. Since 2018, excluding the pandemic years, the school has consistently earned a rating of good or excellent on the South Carolina School Report Card. The PCSD finance team reviewed the school's recent financial performance compared to the previous audited years. Tall Pines has maintained steady enrollment over the past 5 years and has consistently received a low-risk rating. PCSD commends Tall Pines for its extraordinary commitment to putting kids first, as demonstrated by the impressive 90.58% of expenditures devoted directly to instruction. Additionally, the school has operated with no debt throughout its 10-year charter term. The school did have one audit finding, and Clemson's YLI and Tall Pines have assured the district that corrective measures have been implemented to prevent similar issues moving forward. Tall Pines Renewal highlighted some of its innovative practices, such as students organized into small communities or PACs, fostering a strong sense of belonging, accountability, and leadership through competitions, service projects, and the student-led PAC Council. Students also participate in after-school programs, athletics, and annual service projects, helping to cultivate civic-minded, empathetic, and responsible leaders. Key changes to the revised charter include adopting iReady Diagnostics as its universal screener and progress monitoring tool for ELA and math. This new assessment tool enables more frequent data analysis, standardized intervention criteria, and enhanced communication with parents. Two key changes in enrollment procedures include a 10% preferential enrollment status for dependents of active duty military members, and adoption of lotteries enrollees to manage its lottery and enrollment processes, strengthening transparency, efficiency, and data accuracy while ensuring compliance. As part of the renewal, Tall Pines proposes academic goals focused on continuous student growth and stronger outcomes in math, reading, and science using SC-ready assessments. These revised goals shift targets to state-aligned measures that better reflect performance metrics used to evaluate schools statewide. Based on a comprehensive review of Tall Pines' academic, operational, and financial performance, we respectfully request a motion to approve Tall Pines STEM Academy's charter renewal. Thank you.
Thank you. We need a motion and a second to approve. May I ask a question first?
Sure.
Okay. On page 3 on this, just before we go ahead and make our vote, it says in the second paragraph, it is also important to note that since the COVID-19 pandemic, the state has migrated from a norm-referenced value-added growth model to a criterion-referenced value-added growth model.
That's a John Arpane question.
Can you tell me, huh?
John Arpane would be the appropriate
Oh,
person
you'll
to-
speak to that, okay, okay.
John, you want to answer that question real quick?
Yes, ma'am. So the criterion reference is basically a measure that says if a student is here at this point, that's kind of the measure. A norm reference says, typically gets a group of developmentally appropriate children and says this is what we expect as the norm for these developmentally appropriate, as opposed to a fixed place that a criterion reference model would provide.
Okay, so you wouldn't, this is not an either, it is an either or. It is an, it's two, that's what I was asking.
Right,
That's
yes,
what,
ma'am.
that was going to be my follow-up. There are two different approaches that are both valid, so I got the impression they had moved from one to the other.
So initially, when that metric was created as part of the consolidated federal and state accountability system for South Carolina, it was a norm-referenced value-added model. The concern expressed by many, many districts and schools across South Carolina is because it was a norm-referenced, you literally had to find out where your schools and students were in the pack of all schools. And so the decision was made to move it more to a criterion reference where teachers and administrators have clearer understandings of this is where John is right now, this is where John needs to be by the time it comes to the test.
Okay, good. Thank you. And I knew you would know.
Thank you, John.
Yes. Yes.
The recommendation says that the staff recommends renewal based on the fact that they meet or they're in compliance, and it clearly says on page 2 that they're not in compliance in terms of South Carolina Code 594050.
Yeah, they're 5% off.
They're 5% off.
Yeah.
And I noticed that about 4 years ago, they mentioned that they knew they were trying to recruit students of color, but
I don't see any goals or anything that shows they work toward that. And it says they're working to recruit military, but I think the closest base to us, and I live in Aiken County, is Augusta, Georgia, and that's a different state. So it seems like their focus shouldn't be on military because we don't have a military base close to us in Aiken other than in Georgia.
Yes, that's correct, but the school does have to prepare a plan to meet the demographics, and they are prepared to discuss that with you as well today.
They do have a plan.
Yes, Lori, I'm going to introduce Principal Lori Mastromonaco. Would you join us?
But shouldn't that
Before we-
plan be in one of the goals?
Point of order,
Yeah.
point of order, point
Okay.
of order. We should take a motion and a second.
And then have discussion, yeah.
Well, there was a question, so I had one
Yeah.
too.
I appreciate it, just
Right.
point of order.
Right, just my question to you, yeah. Okay, so we need a motion and a second to approve the Tall Pine STEM Academy 10-year charter renewal as recommended by staff.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Have a
Second.
Second. Any discussion?
I have a question.
Yes.
We talk about, the staff presented the financial performance metrics on page 4, and I just was seeking clarity. I see in 2025, they have a cash balance of $892,000, but in the paragraph, a couple of paragraphs above that, it says that they have an ending fund balance of $76,000, or 1.65% of the general fund expenditures, and the recommendation or the requirement is that it's supposed to be 8.33%. So can I get some clarity around how that's presented?
Good morning. Any shortfall of cash or fund balance is covered by the Youth Learning Institute each year. So they have the backing of Clemson University and Youth Learning Institute to cover the shortfall.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, just since we had asked about the percentages relates to minorities, and I also see students of color, if I could get some clarity on, is it students of color or minority students? What's the, if that could be explained to me. Does that include the Asian community, the Hispanic community, the African American community?
Yes, it does. It
So
includes,
students of color equals all of those is the
Correct.
same as minorities?
correct.
Okay, thank you.
So that 15% means all minority, not just students of color.
Correct. So we'll go ahead and play the video first, and then hear from the school, and you may ask questions of the representatives as well. Why don't we go ahead and entertain questions first while we deal with the technical difficulties?
I have a question.
Yes,
Madam Chair.
yes.
My question is, due to the relatively closeness and proximity of Tall Pines and Fox Creek, is there a pathway, because you go from Creek to A, that they may flow into Fox Creek?
Oh, absolutely. So Fox Creek, being in our district, we feel like shares our culture, and the parents are often encouraged to visit Fox Creek as a high school option, because we feel like that transition would be great for our students. Just coming from Tall Pines and the expectations for performance and for behavior, it feels like a natural transition actually for them to go to Fox Creek. It's a little far for some of our students, but we always recommend Fox Creek to them as a natural transition, especially the ones who have just fallen in love with our culture. And they often ask us, do you have a high school? And it's like, we don't have a plan for that, but please check out Fox Creek. And of course, now Fox Creek will be opening a middle school, and we hope that that's going to be more of a collaboration than a competition, so we're looking forward to that as well.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Reverend Dr. Douglas Slaughter was one of the ones who initiated the start of Tall Pines. And I worked there with him for a year at Aiken, in Aiken at the school. And no one ever came to try to encourage those students to go to Tall Pines, and that would allow you all to get more minority students if you would go to that school, which is not too far from Tall Pines.
Right.
Then that would, initiate some more growth in terms of minority students.
Sure, yes. Yeah, we're open to any ideas for that. Of course, I was not there at the very beginning of Tall Pines. Came in on this as the teacher during the second year, so I didn't have the privilege to work with Reverend Dr. Slaughter during that time. But since my leadership time, I know our board and we talk constantly about ways to increase our racial composition and our minority populations. Just recently, we attended Shout Fest, which is a Unity Weekend, part of the Unity Weekend, hosted by Umoja. So we plan our interest meetings in areas where we are easily accessed by minority populations. I don't believe that we should expect them to come to us. I think that we should go into every community, look for ways to serve them, and we should be going to them. If we want to build the trust and we want to invite them into our school, we need to go into the communities where these people are so that we can show them that they are welcome.
Yeah, that was my suggestion when I was called about 4 years ago. And the school is Second Baptist Christian Prep, and they go up to third grade, I believe.
Yeah, that's great.
So it would be a good transition for them to go to Tall Pines.
That would be fantastic. And we did an interest night at Second Baptist once, and we've helped support their VBS program. So I would love to reach out to them and see how we can partner with them. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I heard our finance director indicate that if there were any shortfalls, the Youth Learning Institute would cover that. Is that right? It also indicates that under this agreement, the Youth Learning Institute provides operational support, management support, et cetera. Is that something like an MOU? Is that a hybrid MOU that's set up like that?
Yeah, there's a contractual agreement that we have. So the school pays Clemson a percentage, and then we take over HR, legal, really most of the administrative, bookkeeping, those types of things, and support. So yes, Tall Pines is separate, so they could choose at any point to discontinue that, but
Sure.
it's a contract that we have.
Okay. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Yes. Any other questions?
I had a comment. First of all, I just want to thank you for investing such a large portion of your budget into the students. I think you have the highest rate of investment of any charter school in the state in terms of your per instructional amount on that spend. So I thank you for doing that. You truly are putting the money in the classroom. Secondly, to Dr. Pope's point, I know that you guys are doing a lot more outreach than you have previously, and I would just encourage you to just continue to do that. Thirdly, in terms of the military part of that, so the Military Child Preference Bill does not represent just active duty children who are at Fort Gordon over in Augusta. It also represents all military family kids, Guard, Reserve, that live in the entire region. But I would also say the National Guard in the state of South Carolina is building a $15 million plus cyber center at USC Aiken. So we're going to have even more South Carolina military families there who could take part in the school. And then as Fort Gordon continues to grow, it's growing across the Savannah River into Aiken and Edgefield counties. So we're going to continue to see the military families choose to live in South Carolina, even though they work in Georgia. So that bill was designed specifically for all types of military children. So I just wanted to provide clarification on that.
And can I share a story based on that? I think that's really important, and coming from a military home, I was very pleased. I'm talking over myself now. To be able to do that. This year, we had 2 students come to our school. They, for the first time, reached the top of our waiting list, and they enrolled in our school. They are twins, and they have special needs. Dr. Neely, I believe you met these boys. Their mother is an active duty military mom, and they were coming to us in 8th grade. However, if this had been in place previously, we probably would have had these children for a couple of more years. We feel like we're making such a huge impact on their lives and their growth socially. We've seen huge impact on them socially and academically. The teachers that are working with them are doing such a fantastic job. I wish we had had this bill in place previously so we could have had more time with them. And that was just, as it came into place and we revised our charter to allow that, it just became like, these are the children that are impacted by that, and it's really important to make sure that we're not leaving anyone out.
Yeah, thank you.
Madam Chair, comment, please. Congratulations on the report card. It's not easy to maintain an excellent and good rating. That's very difficult because of growth and all that involved. So every time you have been, I know in 19, 20, 2021, it's not rated because of COVID and that, but your ratings have all been good or excellent. So there's good work being done there. Congratulations.
Thank you. Our teachers work incredibly hard. Our students do too. We're still striving for excellence. And of course, that's the rating for our performance. The one thing that has been consistent that I am most proud of is that our school climate has consistently been excellent. And the performance, of course, is very important, but knowing that our teachers and our students and our families trust us and continue to see a positive culture and rate us excellent year after year is really valuable to me.
I do want to make a comment, too. I'm very impressed with the way that the children behave, not just in the school, but outside. My next-door neighbors, 2 of the boys go to Tall Pines, and they are the most respectful children. So I know that it has something to do with their school climate.
Thank you. And of course, the parents, of course, play a huge role. But we really, sometimes parents pull out of middle school and they think, well, it's time for our students to be independent and learn this. We don't believe that at Tall Pines. We still want to continue that bridge between school and home. And so we work with the families. We invite them in. We think that's really important because that's not the time for families to step out and let their kids go because their peer relations are so important during middle school, the relationship with the teachers, and it's important that the parents know that. So I'm a huge believer in making sure that we're communicating with families and we're working together to support behavior, manners, as well as academics.
Mr. Superintendent, Chris.
My last comment, it's really a challenge. It's a visionary challenge.
All right.
Is for you to continue to explore the idea of potentially expanding to high school.
Okay.
And it's because I know that the families don't want to leave,
They don't.
and it would open up, I think, more opportunities for more kids in Aiken County and beyond. So I would strongly encourage y'all to think about what that vision would look like going forward.
We may have to clear out some more trees.
I'll let y'all deal with that.
Superintendent, Madam Chair, if I may, two recommendations. I mentioned Clemson several times. Dabo Sweeney has the All-In Foundation. They gave away about $2 million this year. Your school, certainly, we were, two schools that were awarded those monies because of the Clemson relationship. I would strongly encourage you to apply for that grant, and he will give, an award. And secondly, call me Mr. Birth out of Clemson. That would help you with diversity. If you are, that's a great opportunity for you to bring that into your
I'd
school.
love to have that. We recently hosted Howard University students during their spring break, and it was such a wonderful experience. I think for the Howard students as well as for ours, I'd love to have Call Me Mister at our school.
Okay, I believe we were in the, no, okay, I believe we were in the middle of this motion, of handling this motion, so I'm just going to start it again, but we've got a second, and a motion and a second. We need a motion and a second. We have a motion and a second to approve Tall Pines STEM Academy 10-year charter renewal as recommended by staff. So we have a motion and a second. We have had questions, unless there are any more questions. Hearing none, we will now put the motion to a vote. All in favor of the renewal, the 10-year renewal charter school for Tall Pines STEM Academy, please indicate by saying yay.
Yay.
Any opposed? No. Yeas have it.
And at this time, barring any other technical difficulties, we will watch that short video. That was just playing. It is, the 3-minute video is in your board folder. There's also a 13-minute video that is outstanding that Lori and her team put together, that if you haven't had a chance to watch it.
Passion for school.
Okay, start. Let's try this one more time.
In the beginning, there were only 2 sets of 48 students in 5th through 6th grade. There was a principal and a small group of teachers who were willing to take a chance on a unique learning experience. It was a scary new adventure, and no one knew if parents would choose this school. No one knew exactly if our school would be successful, but there was a passion for school that put students first. However, within just a couple of years,
Thank you.
Congratulations on the very beautiful setting and networking this with Clemson reaching out. It's just a synergistic, wonderful thing, and the students appear to just love the pace and the content of what they are getting. So congratulations on that, and I know the beauty of the ambiance of it all outside contributes to that too.
Tall Pines, if you wouldn't mind coming back up, because we have a little gift for you.
Squeeze in. Let's give them another round of applause. Hold up, Laura. This is a big moment. I mean, seriously. I just wanted to say that we talk about how our kids have choice and parents make choices. We talk about how our teachers have choices about where they can work, but it's not lost on us that our schools have choices. And you've chosen to be with the public charter school district, the state's only public statewide authorizer. And so we're just honored to be partners with you in this work of putting all kids first. We appreciate the culture that you've developed at the school. We love being a part of what you're doing, and we're excited about the future growth.
And I would just say the combination of driven, competent, talented adults with great hearts, educational hearts, and the interface with this district, I just can't say enough about how wonderful public school is in the charter paradigm. Public charter school. Everyone can just function beautifully because it's just a tight system of checks and balances, and it's just wonderful. And I love the character of people that choose the public charter school, where everything is up front, just wonderful, just wonderful. And that's why everybody, what they all feel this, they're living that life, you're living that life for the betterment of the next generation. It's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. So thank you all. Every day, I know you come home tired, but you put that smile back on the next day and you've got more to give them, and they want to take it. They want it from you. So it's a lot about love. It's a lot about love. So thank you. Yeah, there is a free lunch. Thank you, Nick. Okay, now we will hear from September 2025 financial report audit update from Nick Michael, Deputy Superintendent of Financial Services. And the most accurate man I know.
Good morning, Madam Chair and board members. At the end of September, we expect 75% of the general fund approved budget to remain. We are currently at 72.87%. My report will show the district is bringing in more revenue than forecasted, but still operating at a net loss due to the front loading of expenditures at the beginning of the year. The October report will show a net increase for the month and for the year, bringing us into the positive. This is due to schools receiving additional revenue with the 5-day membership update that occurred in September, which continues through all the way until the 45-day update in January. Flipping over to page 2. This is the district-wide income statement, which includes general fund, state aid to classrooms revenue transferred to our schools. Through September 30th, the district received over $55 million in revenue, with total expenditures of over $55 million, which equals a net loss of just over $53,000. Of the revenue received, over $53.5 million was sent to our schools under the state aid to classrooms line and for any that participate in the state retirement system. If you flip over to page 3, this report is the income statement for the district office only, which includes general fund revenue received for our state mandated 2% authorizing fee, donations, interest income, and any other local sources. For the month of September, the district recorded over $519,000 in revenue, over $465,000 in expenditures, for a net increase of over $53,000 for the month. This increases our fund balance from $3,006,000 to $2.9 million, which is still a net loss for the year of $53,000. And like I said, the October financial report will show that we'll have an increase in October and then also an increase for the year. If you flip over to page 4, this report breaks out the district's budgets versus actuals by department. Leadership has a budget of $1.6 million, expenditures of $399,000, with 76% remaining. Sponsor Performance has a budget of $1.1 million, expenditures of $369,000, with 69% remaining. Support and Implementation has a budget of $1.1 million, expenditures of $374,000, with 69% remaining. External Affairs has a budget of $615,000, expenditures of $152,000, with 75% remaining. And lastly, Financial Services and HR has a budget of $914,000, expenditures of $221,000, with 76% remaining. All right, flipping over to the final page of my report, this is generated monthly by the state and includes all the state funding calculated for the district. Of the $267.3 million total allocation, $262 million is under the state aid to classrooms line, which is approximately 98%. Madam Chair, this concludes my September financial report, and I respectfully request board approval pending any questions.
Thank you. Thank you, Nick. Are there any questions? We'll take a motion, yeah. We need a motion and a second to approve the September 2025 financial report as recommended by staff. Do I hear a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Are there any thoughts, questions for Nick? Any concerns, anything? John, did you raise this? No. Okay. Hearing none, we will move on to the vote on this. All in favor of the motion and a second to approve the September 2025 financial report as recommended by staff. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I'd also like to provide an audit update.
Yes.
Okay. Madam Chair and board members, the state is still waiting for the compliance supplement to be released. As a result, the South Carolina Department of Education sent out guidance allowing districts to submit a draft audit report by the state mandated December 1st deadline. Upon the release of the compliance supplement, the district will have 30 days to submit the final copy of the audit report. As a district, the fiscal year 2025 annual financial audit report draft has been completed and will be submitted to the state no later than tomorrow. The independent audit firm reported a clean, unmodified opinion with no audit findings, a general fund balance increase of $944,000 for a total general fund balance of $3.4 million, or approximately 8 months of operating expenditures. This meets the 1 month fund balance requirement per the fiscal practices legislation, and I also want to point out that the district has no debt. Madam Chair, this concludes my audit update pending any questions.
I think that's right. I know where we have a debt. We have a debt to you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Keeping us on the straight and narrow. That was good. Okay, well, that concludes all of our action items, and now we move into the superintendent's report.
Madam Chair, trustees, I'm going to give you some updates from sponsor performance. As you know, we are in the season of beginning the new application season for charter schools, and every November 1st, interested groups submit non-binding letters of intent to the State Department and to authorizers. This year, we received 32 letters of intent from interested organizations that want to be a part of this district. That is by far the most that we have received, certainly since 2020, and maybe we had about 28, I think was the highest that I've seen. So we have a number of folks that are interested in joining our district. 7 of those groups that attended our July workshop that we do every year, and then 28 of those 32 groups attended our pre-applicant training that we held here on November the 13th at the district office. Applications this year are applications are typically due February the 1st. This year, because of the date in which it falls, that's been moved to January 30th. So we are excited to see which of these 32 organizations will be submitting applications with us. In terms of data and accountability, on November the 3rd, though delayed, the State Department of Education and the Education Oversight Committee released the 2025 report cards. I got a few slides that I'll touch on those in a minute. Generally speaking, we are seeing improvements in terms of the overall report card ratings, but equally, we know that we have some work to do too. We've also deployed just this semester, and I'm really proud of our data and IT team. We deployed this new system that the state is requiring all districts to use. It's called ClassLink, and it's a platform that is intended to link together other platforms that are provided by the state, and we have successfully onboarded all of our schools. We've mentioned that we're trying to do my division to do some staff training, so we have done 4 so far. We did a summer data dive. We've trained staff on a application called Tango. We trained staff on using TransScreens, so how to use these. And then we had one where Dr. Kelly Pugh, who is one of our dear partners, she came and worked with us on data-driven decision making. In terms of Power School, we developed and deployed our Power School manual, and I think this just gives us the guardrails we need to make sure that we and our schools are ensuring high-quality data, security of the Power School system, and those kinds of things. And we are now fully managing all of that in-house. And then we are working already in advance of the annual reports that schools have to do. Those will be due December 31st. We're hoping to get them a little early. But we're actually working on a webinar right now that we'll be posting on the web for our schools to access to give them more information about that. In addition to that, by being able to, in bringing these staff on board, that's given more flexibility. So Josh Finley, our Chief of Data Accountability and IT, he and I have begun visiting some schools specifically to look at data quality, data issues, and then talk about accountability and charter goals. Really to go in and just to kind of assess how are you doing in your data quality, your data preservation, those kinds of things. And we've had some really great trips. We have visited Low Country Acceleration Academy, Carolina Shores Acceleration Academy, Carolus Online Learning. We went to their school office up right off St. Andrews Road. And we've got some additional visits coming up, and we're meeting with those schools to kind of talk and identify how can we continue to improve this. And finally, in terms of this work, we have posted a position for a director of charter performance, and that will be someone who will come in and work with us to ensure that we're continuing to meet our obligations, schools are meeting their obligations, and we're continuing to raise that bar with respect to our accountability, our AFO system, and then supports for schools. I mentioned the report cards just a moment ago. What you see on your screen right now is a comparison. These are the numbers of elementary schools that received the various ratings, and you see there in the bottom row, orange, 23-24, and then the top above that is 24-25. And so what you'll notice in this is sort of a middling, right? The orange down to the blue and below average and unsatisfactory, that's good. We have fewer school or elementary schools getting those ratings. They're kind of being pushed, if you'll note, kind of to that average rating. That's the direction we want to go. We want fewer below average and unsats, moving them to average and above. Looking ahead at middle school, you'll see that even more pronounced with that shift up in terms of performance. And then in high school, it's pretty much about on par as it was last year. But you see, we do have by far most of our high schools in this get excellent ratings. So we're really proud of all of our schools and all of the hard work that the administrators, the faculty, the students, and the parents have done. That said, of course, we know that we have to continue looking at ways that we can improve. And so what you're seeing on your screen now are multiple years from in terms of looking at how we perform in ELA grades 3 through 8 and in high school. And so you can see we are continue to outperform the state in ELA, looking at the 24-25, as well as outperform the state on the English 2 end of course assessment. For the math, you can see we are below the state in math. That's one we really need to focus on. We've talked about that in a number of board meetings. It just continues to be a struggle, not only for us, but as you see in terms of the state as well. And then looking over then finally to algebra, you can see we're about where we were last year, but again, needing to do that. So we're looking right now to make sure and identify ways that we can continue supporting our schools, particularly in the area of math and math instruction. And Madam Chair, that concludes my updates, pending any questions that you or the trustees may have.
Thank you. Any questions?
Madam Chair, I just have one.
Yes.
Is on the unsatisfactory, are those repeat schools or are they swapping?
Yes, sir. So in terms of the unsatisfactory schools, we had a little mixture of both. We had some that got unsatisfactory. They got it last year. They got it again this year. We are working intensively with that school. We also had a few that were below average that are now unsat. We had one that was unsat that's going below. So it was a little mixture of both in terms of those ratings.
And are any of those in their third unsatisfactory?
No, sir. They are not.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Mr. Davis.
That was my question, the roughly 33 some odd schools in the satisfactory to below average, what type of support will we provide for them?
Right, and that's where Ms. Baker's team and my team work together and collaborate. I think she's going to touch on that some as well. In really looking at, one, making sure their data systems are clean. What we do not want is a school to lose points because they have bad data. So that is kind of foundational. You got to get the data in there for the good data to come out. And then identifying, looking at their charter goals, looking at their accountability, trying to drill down with them. In fact, Dr. Pugh came in and did another goals training with us where she's doing data dives and showing our schools how to really go in and look and examine their data and identify what they can do, in terms of instructional practices or those kinds of things. And so Ms. Baker's team and I are continuing to work and identify those supports now that all the data has been publicly released.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, support, Emily. Support and implementation update, Emily Baker, Deputy Superintendent of Support and Implementation.
Good morning.
Good morning.
It's good to see you. By way of an update since we last met, as a team, we have completed 10 site visits in the last 30 plus days. I have recently visited 2 of the schools within our portfolio. I recently visited Pace Academy to support Dr. Melanie Vaughn, as she has recently been named the new school leader of that site. And then I also had the privilege with Ariel Eves to visit Butler Academy. Dr. Reyes invited us in to support his educators. We met with them one-on-one and just to personally discussed their certification journeys and made sure that any questions they had were answered. Up first, I would like to welcome Sydney Arsenault to our team. Sydney comes to us with a background in social work and a skills and expertise in data analysis. She has worked in both the nonprofit and in state systems. We are very proud to have her. She has hit the ground running and has taken off. So Sydney, if you haven't already stood, this is Sydney. Welcome to our family, Sydney. Up next, I would like to share with you that at the end of October, Andrea Green and Tracy Sweet attended the South Carolina Association of Title I Administrators Conference, or SCADA. Tracy Sweet had the honor to present twice within that conference. The first presentation she had was a solo presentation where she shared with Title I administrators across the state on our processes for impacting on student achievement. So she's really had a focus recently on our return on investment for students, ensuring that those federal dollars truly turn into student outcomes. So she was able to share the progress that our team has made and share tips and tricks with others that have similar roles as herself across the state. The second presentation, she was invited to present alongside the South Carolina Department of Education, and that presentation was about using evaluation to inform federal funding decisions. So in that, she was asked to showcase some of the district's work, again, in terms of return on investment and ensuring that those funding decisions are made in the best interest of students. So congratulations, Tracy. We are thankful that Tracy represented the PCSD at that conference with both pride and passion. And finally, as part of my department plan this year, Stan Davis will be proud. One of the things that I have committed to, or we have committed to as a team this year, is to ensure that our cross-team collaborations, where we're really archiving the purpose behind those. So one of the highlights I would like to share with you today is kind of that proverbial handshake between John Arpain's team in accountability and the support and implementation team. Our collaboration has 3 purposes. We're looking to improve processes, we collaborate to problem solve, and we're also growing each other's capacity. An example of some of those collaborations that we have going on, regularly Josh Finley and Rihanna Smith meet to talk about programs in Power School. Their purpose is to improve processes, which actually I think they've saved a bunch of schools a lot of money, or have gotten schools more access to funds, making sure that what they are truly implementing is documented and accounted for in Power School. Another project we have going on is a parchment project that's between both of our teams. We are looking to archive student records and digitize those. And yes, it is 2025, but we have a lot of paper records within this office. So that project has crossed between both teams. And then finally, we have a monthly collaboration where John Arpain, Josh Finley, Susan Howard, and myself sit down and just say, okay, what's going on this month? What do you need? How can we work better? So that one's really about working better collectively. One of the things that we recently discussed was assessment crosses both of our teams, but where does kind of that line drawn? What are our responsibilities and what is the accountability responsibility, so that we're not duplicative in our work? So I just want to say thank you to John and his team for being good partners, and truly the purpose behind that is to ensure that we're all better together. And that concludes my report, pending any questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Thank you, Emily, so much. Brad Henry.
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. I'm fond of saying we love it when we have our students in our building, which we had earlier today. But we also love it when we have our school leadership in our building. School board training is held at the district office on October 30th, where 26 board members and leaders from our schools had a day of training led by the State Department of Education, John S. Payne, Stan Davis, and other members of our team on board governance, finance, and FOIA. This is something John S. Payne spearheaded for the first time last spring, and it has been successful, and the feedback has been overly positive from everyone that's attended. Typically in the past, the State Department of Education and the Charter Alliance have offered new board member trainings, virtual or online, and we saw the need to start bringing them in-house, offering them twice a year for new board members in person for a more personal and comprehensive experience. As you know, here at the PCSD, we are huge advocates for the military and for our military kids in South Carolina. In fact, just 2 weeks ago, the governor held the ceremonial signing for the Military Child Preference Bill, which we've worked on tirelessly for a couple of years. So I thought it appropriate, in honor of Veterans Day last week and November being the month of the military child in South Carolina, today I would like to call to the podium one of our best military partners and our overall partners at the district, Dr. Sarah Jane Arnett from the Military Child Education Coalition, to share a little bit with you.
Thank you, Brad, and thank you for having me here today. It's an honor to be here this morning. I'm a parent of one of your former students and a founding board member for PACE Academy. I've also served as the state coordinator for Military Child Education Coalition. It's a nonprofit around the globe, and we're also a very, very proud partner of South Carolina Public Charter School District, who worked very hard last year to earn your Purple Star School distinction and continues to put in the work for military-connected kids. My intent is to highlight our partnership, explain the value of Purple Star Schools, and basically to share a story of why this work is so critical to the growth and development of our young people. Every year, thousands of military-connected students move across the globe to new schools, experience new cultures, environments, and essentially restart over and over again. The average number of moves for military-connected kids is 6 to 9 times through kindergarten and their senior year of high school. Purple Star Schools recognizes the unique needs of military students and provides dedicated support to help them thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Harrison who learned to speak when he was 4 years old. He often acted out, screamed, and felt frustrated because he couldn't communicate like his brothers and classmates. One day when he was 7, he felt so defeated that he wrote, I am dumb, on both of his little arms in his classroom assignment, and then drew a giant X on his forehead because all the X's of his graded assignment. Since that day, over 10 years ago, advocacy of military-connected student success and stories like Harrison's, the nation's Purple Star Schools program was born. So Purple Star Schools was created in 2017 by a group of leaders in Ohio in a grassroots initiative to promote increased schools committed to supporting military students. South Carolina was one of the first states across the nation to adapt this program, but it didn't take long for the rest of the nation to pitch in. While every state's designation requirements vary, South Carolina's designation requirements are that a military liaison, Dr. Mills, professional development, student-led transition program, and a web page for military families. As you can see on the timeline above, South Carolina moved the needle and is a state model for the national program. We launched the first ever South Carolina specific study this year. As of last Friday, we now have 581 Purple Star schools, and we're set to surpass 600 by the beginning of 2026.
Wait, just hold just a second.
Yes, ma'am. You're something else. I love you. So our impact study showed that 66% of respondents felt the top impact area of Purple Star schools provides social support, while emotional support was a close second with 57%. This data indicates the importance of additional supports in academic, social, and emotional health, and can immediately be identified through the student-led transition program, which is a designation requirement. This young lady attended one of our student ambassador trainings last year, and I noticed she was very timid, but also felt she'd be okay with some extra attention. This awareness sparked her sharing with me that her mom was National Guard for 23 years, so I thanked her for her and her mom's service. Right then, she informed me that her mom had passed away the week before. So right then, the adults in the room went into action mode. By the end of the training, the deputy superintendent and the principal of this child's school went into action and created a plan for her to have extra support. And this is what Purple Star Schools does. It takes extra care of our military-connected students. So I want to circle back to Harrison, who I introduced you to earlier. He's my second born of 4 sons, proudly holding his beta induction certificate from earlier this school year. He's a sophomore at Camden High School, where he's a student leader in and out of the classroom. And I attribute a large portion of his student success to PACE Academy because they gave me the greatest gift a parent could ever receive. For the school community and the team of caring, dedicated, and kind educators poured into my child and taught him in a way that he could receive it, process, and output. What was poured into him, he gave back. He was the first student council president at PACE Academy, where just a year before he started his 6th grade year at a 3rd grade reading level. And by March, he'd already surpassed the reading grade level. This is just my family story. But there are 22,000 military-connected students across the state, and they don't have the opportunity to thrive academically at the right school fit, which is what this district does for our kids. So outstanding partnerships with South Carolina Public Charter School District, the Department of Veterans Affairs, and the Department of Education. Our state's continuing to posture itself with military support initiatives and legislation to take care of our service members. I'm proud to share that we have a Purple Star bill, which has already earned bipartisan support to ensure the longevity of our Purple Star program. Then make sure it's codified to make even more profound impact befitting our military-connected students. Thank you so much for your time today. Thank you for serving as board members. Thank you for allowing me an environment. I've already been emotional watching all of the awards and accolades and the culture of this district, and it was hard for me to get through that without crying, but I've felt really empowered. So thank you for everything that you do, and thank you so much for your service to this district.
Right.
Okay, Brad, now you got,
I've got a tough
you got
act to follow.
her.
I know. Well, I called Sarah Jane a partner at the beginning of this, but she really is, as you can tell, a member of our team here. We're fortunate to have a great relationship with her and with MSEC and also the South Carolina Department of Veterans Affairs. And one last thing for me, just wanted to mention a visit that I took to Midlands Middle College last month. John S. Payne and I were fortunate enough to visit Midlands Middle College. They have a new school leader this year, Bill Robinson, and we were just there to give our overall support, talk about how things were going at the school, see if there was anything that he needed from us as he's just a couple of months into his tenure there at Midlands Middle College. It was a couple days before Halloween. Kids were dressed up in Halloween pajamas. The kids were doing well there. We got to visit a science class. We got to see some stuff get blown up. It was great. I would highly encourage you to visit Midlands Middle College. It's right around the corner. It's on the campus of Midlands Tech here in West Columbia. So please get by there if you can. We're lucky to have them in our district as well as so many other great schools. Madam Chair, members of the board, this concludes my report. Happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, you just brought a lot of answers today, so that's great. Now we will move on to the strategic plan update with Emily Paul.
Hello again. All right, so I think you probably are seeing a pattern here. I'm telling you what I did, and then that shows up the next month for my next step. So last month, I created the existing school WCOE application. So you heard me last month talk about the application for year 0 schools. So hopefully as our letters of intent form their applications, we will see WCOE applications with them. Now we have the existing school application. Next steps on that, I need to collect stakeholder feedback on that from existing schools. I learned in one of my school visits, which I'll tell you about in a little bit, that we have an expert in one of our schools that has a lot to add to this. She is actually doing her dissertation at Clemson in a similar topic. So I am definitely going to be bending her ear and getting some more feedback on that. Also this month, we're drafting playbook chapters. Full transparency, that project is taking a little bit longer than we thought it would. There's just a lot of parts and pieces, and it's one of those things that you can kind of put down and walk away from and then need to remember you need to get back to. So we're still working on those. Hopefully in January, I can tell you that that project is wrapped up. Dr. Kelly Pugh conducted data training with our staff. That is in support of building our staff capacity and making sure that we're engaging in professional development. So she came in and walked us through a data analysis protocol and just helped us look at different sets of data and how we can coalesce as a team around one data protocol to examine those things. We also have drafted office-wide check-in protocols just to make sure that our check-ins are a little bit standardized across the district. Next step on that is, again, getting some stakeholder feedback on those, making sure that our deputies and supervisors are all on board with what those things are and agree to those. One of the great fun things I got to do was work on PCSD fleet procedures. As you may be aware, we are the owners of 3 district vans, and with that comes some responsibility. So it was my great pleasure to draft all of the procedures around what that looks like, how to reserve them, how to make sure that everybody's up to date on their license and those kinds of things, what training we need, how to report any issues, how we track mileage, all of that. So that is now done, and staff will be trained very soon on that. And then finally, as you heard Emily talk about the maintenance of our cross-team building development, that has been a really inspiring thing to see happen this year. It's been something that we've been working on for a while, but it's really taking root and people are taking it really seriously, and I just appreciate Emily and John's leadership there, because it is really nice to see that happening. Let's see what I didn't, next up. So I am wrapping up records retention process planning. So that is another great pleasure of my job, is I'm looking at all of our records retention procedures, making sure they're up to snuff, putting in some extra things that the Department of Archives didn't include, and then making sure that we have a process for everybody knowing where everything is, whose job is what, and how long we have to store it. So that has been a big project, but hoping to be done with that in January. And then finally, we are just beginning to work on developing metrics for staff sustainability and workloads. So in the past, we have a staff planning matrix where we try to guesstimate workloads based on a couple things. One is staff ratio to number of schools, but then we have some positions in our office that could be staff ratio to number of students because their program supports specific students. So we're starting to look at that and just make sure that we're forward planning for the next 5 years and that those ratios that we've planned really still make sense, and just try to make sure that we have specific metrics to make sure that everybody's got sustainable workloads and we can all move forward happily. In addition to that work, this month I have had the opportunity to visit 4 schools. I was at Heartwood Community School, where they had just opened their new building. There will be a ribbon cutting soon. I would greatly encourage you guys to attend. It is amazing, and it's really different the way that they're doing some things there. So I would encourage you, once we have that announcement, to head down to Beaufort to attend that. I also was able to go to Green Midlands to just congratulate them on their report card. They took a step up, and so it was nice to be there and just say, way to go, what's next? I was at Polaris Tech. That is the school that I was looking at some WCOE stuff for. One of their board members, Sandra Chavez, has a lot to add to that, so I will be back there to talk to her some more about that. And then finally, I was at Green Low Country just yesterday, again, to congratulate them on their report card and just be there. That was actually one of the buildings I hadn't seen, so it was nice to be out with our schools and congratulating them on their hard work. That is my report, pending any questions.
Thank you. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes.
Those 3 vans, are they wrapped or?
That's a loaded question. No, they are not. They are not branded in any way at this moment. We can talk about that offline.
That is fun. That's good. Marketing. A very important question. Yeah, marketing.
Thank you.
Here we go.
Okay.
Dexter, you opened up an interesting conversation. I've been saying we need to wrap those vans for a while, but they kept pushing back. I guess maybe they speed, I don't know. Good afternoon. It's been a great meeting, and I know we're all ready to celebrate Thanksgiving, and I love a good Thanksgiving feast, so I'll try to keep this brief. First of all, I do want to, again, thank the East Point Strings Ensemble for the great performance this morning. What a great way to start our board meeting. Let's give them another round of applause. And Butler and Legacy, thanks again. Congratulations. Let's give them a round of applause. And then, of course, we've got all our individuals and that received accolades today, milestones, and then a great renewal with Tall Pines. Let's give them all another shout out. Sarah Jane, where are you? There you are. Great friend and partner. The military community in South Carolina couldn't have a better voice and advocate than Sarah Jane. She was on the radio show with us last week and just has a powerful personal story, and of course just her experiences with her husband serving and deployments, and how she served her family during those deployments to keep the house intact and moving forward, and just as a great spokesperson for MCAC, and just appreciate the partnership. Let's give her a round of applause. I want to speak just briefly. You know, we had 32 letters of intent. You know, those are 32 different visions for what charter schools can look like. So I'm really excited about the future and what those applications will bring forth in terms of new opportunities to serve children in all areas of the state. So the next several months is exciting. It's, you know, new ideas being birthed, and excited to see what those schools bring forth. You've heard about some of these things already. I like to put some pictures to it. So here's the staff retreat that we had down at Camp Long, and it was just a beautiful day. We were down at the Vesper Ring at the very end. That's the photo on the right. And then you can see we had some adventurous types that were willing to get out on the canoes and spin around a little bit out in the water, and just had a great time, some great team building before some of the fun, where it really kind of challenged us as individuals and team members, and just it was a great time. And we're going to do more of this, and we just appreciate everybody at Camp Long and Tall Pines for hosting us that day. And we did have extra barbecue meals. I think we sent them back up to the top of the hill, but we couldn't go a day without Sheely's Barbecue over in Batesburg, Leesville. So that was a special request of mine. Anyway, I do love good barbecue. Here's just some more photos. This is some of the professional development, and just more opportunity to just be together and celebrate what we do together. A couple weeks ago, as we do every year, and this is really unique for our district, is that because we're the state's only public statewide school district, we get to testify and present the budget on behalf of all of our 45 schools. So a couple weeks ago, we were presenting the budget to the governor's office and Department of Administration, and we were able to get a little insight on kind of where they are heading with the funding formula. So far, what we're hearing, and in a subsequent meeting we had with them last Friday, is charter schools are going to be supported. We're not going to see any cuts, and in fact, there might be some increases in some areas. So, you know, we're excited about that. Of course, you know, when it gets into the legislative process, things can change, but hopefully, everyone in the public education sphere can agree that we should be putting the kids first and not any one system, regardless of what those systems might look like. Had a great visit at East Point a few weeks ago, and that's where I was able to see the ensemble in one of their classes, and that's when I invited them to come here. I wanted to be a part of that, but love spending time with the kids and being with our teachers and just watching the energy that grows. And of course, I act a lot like a kid when I'm with them, so we all have fun. Was really impressed with what Liberty Steam did a few weeks ago. They did a partnership with Lockheed Martin. You know, Lockheed Martin produces the F-16s up in the upstate, and they brought the flight simulator over to Sumter at Liberty Steam to let the scholars there learn about aviation jobs and careers in the Air Force and Navy. And so it was great to be able to be a part of that. You can see on the picture on the right, Greg Thompson standing next to me, the founding chair of Liberty Steam. And then Speaker Merle Smith is actually one in the driver's seat there. And I'm telling you, that thing's for real. Like, you'll get sick.
You'll be sick.
Yeah. I mean, it's very realistic, but it has to be. I mean, you want to test the pilot's limits before they ever go getting one of those multi-million-dollar aircraft. But I think this really speaks to the workforce piece. We're seeing more of our schools really be more intentional when it comes to workforce education, training, giving kids experiences, and that's important. There was an article in the Wall Street Journal the other day. Ford Motor Company had announced that they had 5,000 openings for mechanics at $120,000 a job. And they can't find enough people to come and work in that industry with that kind of revenue. I mean, those are salaries that an Ivy League graduate would love to have. And we've got to do more in this country and in this state when it comes to workforce training, development, giving kids apprenticeships. We're actually in negotiations right now with a local school district I won't name, but we'll be announcing something soon where our students would actually have access to their CATE facility and programs at our technical colleges. See, right now, charter schools don't have access to the state's career technology centers. They're paid for with public dollars, but the local districts don't let us have access to it. Our students need to have access and exposure to those programs. And so we're really excited about where we're going. I love the fact that Liberty is focused on workforce. And I think once they get to building out their high school, that's going to be a big part of that focus. We were down at Creeks a few weeks ago over in McClellanville, South Carolina, one of my favorite little, secret places along the coast in South Carolina, just north of Mount Pleasant. And just love the culture and the spirit of that school. And I mean, the fact that these kids are in the middle of the day can go out in kayaks on the marsh and learn about science and their STEM subjects and just take in nature is just amazing. And so it's always good to be with those students. Low Country Acceleration Academy in North Charleston really had a great visit, seeing our scholars work. Not all students can, fit and find belonging in an environment where there's just rows of desks. A lot of kids need an environment that's just different than that, where they know they belong and get the kind of personal support they need to get through school. AA is one of those schools where kids, dropped out. And we work with the local district to bring those kids back into the public school and help them earn a high school diploma, help them get an associate's degree and credentials for work. So just love being with those students. And I tell you, every one of them could write a book. They've got a story, and it's some really tough, challenging stories. But the fact that they're showing so much resilience and going back to school, while at the same time, by the way, most of them work, take care of family, and they're still trying to finish their studies is impressive. Also visited Learn for Life, which is our other AEC for our students that had challenges in the local district and found a home with us. On this day, students actually weren't in the building. They were having their parent-teacher conferences, so I got to sit in on parent-teacher conferences. Now, I've done that with my own kids, but it's a lot different when you're a fly on the wall and you're watching the interaction between the student and the parents and the teachers and administrators. And so it was just really good to be able to get the perspective of the parent and what they were hoping to get out of their child's educational experience at these schools. You heard about the military child preference bill, and that's now been signed into law, and really appreciate the governor and Speaker Merle Smith and Chairman Erickson, and that's Representative Doug Gillum, who is a retired Command Sergeant Major in the South Carolina Army National Guard. And of course, we've got some scholars there from Liberty's team, and that was a really special moment. We fought for 2 years for that bill.
Wow.
And that's going to open up new opportunities for our schools to serve more military children. Governor Pam Evatt was in Sumter recently, and she said, can I stop by Liberty STEAM? So absolutely. So you can see Trustee Davis there with us, and we had a great visit with the Lieutenant Governor, and they were able to celebrate their first report card. They got a good rating, first time out. And if y'all know Dr. Trevor Ivy, he wants an excellent, and I know Greg does too. But I think first time out, good is great. And but I know they're going to continue to rise. And of course, the students there, I mean, they just got so much energy, And, I mean, they've taught them all kinds of songs and inspirational, motivational type chants and cheers. So the lieutenant governor was pretty impressed and got to see the expansion as well there. So pretty soon, I think they're just going to push Belk department stores right on out the other side and continue growing there at the mall. We were at Carolina Shores last week. I had a great opportunity again to visit with another one of our AA schools, and just really proud of all the work they're doing. And again, just amazing stories with these students. I'm just inspired every single time I visit one of these schools and hear the stories. And they're very open about sharing their experiences and their life with you. And we just want to keep encouraging them in their journey and see them get across the line with a high school diploma and a good job opportunity on the other side. Had a chance to visit Riverwalk last week. As you can tell, a lot's been happening in the past month. I walked right into the front door, and immediately some students grabbed me and said, "We want you on our TV show." So I sat down and did an interview on their Riverwalk TV show, and they asked some hard questions. But we had a lot of fun and just a really good visit there. Appreciate what Dr. Robbie Compton's doing there at Riverwalk and up in Rock Hill, and the good culture they've developed, and got to see their new building that they built, and giving those students, an even better experience at school. And then you heard about Dr. Pugh. We just appreciate the partnership with her and her expertise to help us and our schools be better about data and being better about our goals and our charters. The other day I was at PD Mass Science Technology Academy over in Lee County, and Dr. Keith Bailey, you can see him right there with me, cutting the ribbon on their new building. Now, this school was started on Dr. Bailey's family's land many, many years ago. His mom had a vision, the Apostle Bailey, and she's since passed, but her vision was to provide a school of choice for the children of Lee County. And I don't know if y'all have stopped in Lee County. Many people drive right through it, but it's one of the poorest counties in the state. And this school is down at the end of an old dirt road. But they had this dream, and there was an old church and the old family home, and that and a modular they turned into a school. Well, this is their first new building for these kids. So it's the tallest building in Lee County, and I found that out. The mayor was there. It's definitely the newest building, but more importantly, it's a good, safe, quality school home for these kids. And I think it's going to enable Dr. Bailey and his board the opportunity to expand and invite more children to come to this school. These are the kind of charter schools in our rural areas that we need to be supporting and doing more for. And we've got 130,000 students statewide that live in rural areas of the state that do not have school choice. And so I just love being a part of this. It was a blessing to be a part of it, to watch it, and to hear about Apostle Bailey and the work that she did in their formative years, but then the vision to watch it all come forward and how it's going to change that community. Yesterday I was over at Green Charter School, Spartanburg, and I had a really good visit. Lots of STEM going on there. You can see me picking up a bead with chopsticks. The kids didn't think I could do it. But we had a lot of fun. It was a good visit. Their executive director, Tom Croney, was there. I had a good opportunity to really kind of talk with him about, some of the things going on there and just continue to support those students. And then next year will be our 20th anniversary. Believe it or not, the South Carolina Public Charter School District was created in 2006. In statute. The statute was amended to include the creation of a statewide public school district. We are unique. You know that we've talked about this before. Colorado and Hawaii are the two other states that are most similar to our state. And as I mentioned when we were honoring Eric, it's been a rocky history, but we've also seen just a lot of success. And the last 6 years, has been unprecedented growth and success in terms of the academic performance of our schools and the diversity of the schools that we're seeing, and then just the diversity of the district itself in so many ways. So this is just kind of a little preview logo of what we're going to be doing. We're planning some celebrations. We want to invite the governor and our legislators here for a celebration with you, and to really just recognize 20 years of growth, opportunity, and hope for children. And hopefully the next 20 years, this body right here, this family in this room, we won't be here in 20 years. But somebody will take over. But we're laying the foundation for the next 20 years of growth and opportunity for children. And I hope in 20 years that no child is truly left behind in South Carolina when it comes to having a quality choice for their educational needs and to pursue their interests and dreams in life. Pending any questions, that's the end of my brief.
No, Madam Chair, I don't have a question. I just wanted to thank the superintendent and the staff as you talk about the 20th anniversary of charter schools for the pocket-sized constitutional charter school act that you guys have.
Oh, yeah.
I love that. I really loved it. I will be carrying that with
I got
me.
it with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to thank you for that.
Yeah, that was
a welcome thing on the heels of the anniversry.
Well, you're welcome. We've gotten a lot of good feedback. The department asked us for a box of them. They thought that was really cool. Many of us have had one of those little pocket constitutions and Declaration of Independence. And
It's
it was
right up there with it. That's right
Yeah,
up there with
yeah. Only this one's going to probably change.
Sure.
And it probably needs to change.
That's going to be my next question.
Because as we've said, and we don't shy away, there's been a lot of noise in the charter sector. And, we want to ensure that the Charter Act continues to evolve as school choice evolves, and to ensure that there's full transparency and accountability for the schools and for the district. And so, but yeah, that's been a great tool, and we've been sharing that with all the board trainings. And I always quiz them too. I always ask them, what is the one goal in the Charter Act?
Wait, just give me a minute.
What is the one goal in the Charter Act? Well, there's one goal in the Charter Act. There's 7 purposes at the beginning of the Act, and then there's one goal. And the goal is to close the achievement gap. And I always start there, because if you don't start there, you're going to get your application all messed up. So, but anyway, I appreciate that. Any other questions?
Madam Chair, I just had a comment. I want to thank everybody for the flower for my grandmother that transitioned to heaven last week, and also talk about teamwork. Mr. Trustee Gilchrist, from time to time, he'll get this influx of goods and services to hand out, and last week I was able to bless a lot of folks with your apples, so thank you, sir. And means a lot. And our All Abilities, because of you, Mr. Superintendent, we finished our first season of All Abilities football skills of flag football, and it was a great emotional time for everybody involved, so thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate you leading that effort. Any other questions or comments? Well, hearing none, just a reminder, we're going to have a Thanksgiving feast as soon as we adjourn. And then I would also ask all our friends from Tall Pines to join us in the back. We're going to celebrate your renewal with some cake. Madam Chair?
Good. Okay, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second?
Second.
We stand adjourned. We sit adjourned. Okay.